Sims games on handhelds have never been quite right. Most of them aren't even Sims games. They're just adventure games, kind of. When a portable Sims game did pertain to the Sims formula, it was rated E10 by the ESRB. This took out the woohooing or the Sims version of sex. This means you can't reproduce, and I don't know, that just turned me off from the handheld Sim game. When the 3DS came around, I guess EA thought that everybody was ready for a rated T handheld Sims game, but not for those filthy DS scums. Doesn't really matter, I have a 3DS and my library has a copy of The Sims 3 Pets. Yes, my library does hold video games, so why not try it out? Disclaimer, this isn't a review of The Sims. I'm going to do an in-depth video on The Sims in February, probably. Also, I got The Sims 3 Pets instead of The Sims 3 because that came out 6 months after, and they're the same price at GameStop, so not much of a difference. Well, this game is fine, just fine, not great. The game seems to go faster than traditional Sims games. For example, I got married within the first 5 minutes of the game and got laid, woohooed, within the first 10. Speaking of woohoo, they decided to take a very weird route with the woohoo system. Every time you want to woohoo, you have to work it up. And by work it up, I mean you have to be romantic, even after you get married. Why you can't just do it all the time is besides me. Besides that, it feels like a cut down version of The Sims. Oh yeah, the pets. I didn't use any pets in The Sims 3 Pets. I imagine the pets function is about the same as the human function. I don't really like pets, so it doesn't apply to me. It's the same price as The Sims 3, and I imagine that this game is a slight bit better because it came out 6 months later. I saw a review on this game by CGR Undertow, and he said that this game was the superior one, so I don't think it's just pets that they added, although I can't say for sure. The AI is awful though. The Sims will constantly do their own thing before you give them a command. You can turn free will off, but it didn't seem to work for me. Another gripe I have with this game is the fact that there are no cheats. There is only one cheat in the console version, it's creation mode, but it would still have been a nice touch. It is a letdown for PC Sims fans. Now on to the build mode, which is pretty fun to use. You can use the touchscreen for this part, while you can't use the touchscreen for life mode for some reason. I never used the touchscreen though because the circle pad worked just fine. I think the game was built around the circle pad. Maybe if the game was built for touchscreen and you could use the touchscreen for life mode, it would have worked better, but it just didn't do it for me. You can't landscape, there's no pools, you don't get all the fancy stuff. It's quite bare bones, but it's still fun. You can't buy empty lots because reasons, so you have to get a lot with a house and sell everything. Meh. One last note, pun you'll see, is the music. There are only 3 songs on the radio, but for some reason, I really like those 3 songs. Due to lack of variety, if you're playing for a long time, turn the sound off. At least if you have the radio on. I didn't really sample any of the other game music because the 3 songs on the radio were actually pretty good. Pretty energetic and peppy, and I couldn't find the soundtrack anywhere, so I can't really show you. Yeah, you have to hear it for yourself. The game is not as great as the PC version, but it's still good. $30, which it's still retailing for despite it being released not long after the 3DS's launch, is still a little much. Maybe wait for a price drop, unless you're a die-hard Sims fan. I didn't spend a whole lot of time on the game, and really I just wanted to get a video out before the Christmas video, but I still got a feel, and if I find it for cheap one day, I might pick it up. At the current price though, I'll pass. You can't even find it for that cheap on eBay, which is kind of weird. I guess it's a rare game, I don't know. I'm going to give this game a 7 out of 10. If it was on PC, it would get a much lower score, trust me. But for a handheld Sims game, it's not too bad. Too bad The Sims 4 isn't leaving the comfort of PC, because I feel like there can be improvements. But for now, this is the best handheld Sims game, at least in my opinion. If there are better handheld Sims games, please tell me about it, because I would love to play them. Because I like The Sims, and having a better Sims game, cheaper Sims game on the go, would definitely be nice.